So it's been like a heavy news week, and I'll start with the Daily Graphic Weekend special headline. President Mahama engages U.S. AFRICOM commander. This story comes with a photograph of President Mahama, who is seen here exchanging pleasantries with General Michael Langley, the commander of the United States African Command. Also here, and in the spirit of Valentine, this is a very serious headline because we are being told that polluted lakes, rivers affect fertility. Oh, Charlie. So for all of those who have plans this Vows Day, they say usually you see the product of February 14th in November.
November, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So all the November babies. I saw a post on Facebook. I think she was a November born, and all the November babies were like, yeah, well, I mean, wow. Yeah, we're November babies, and so what? So
it's crazy.
In November we'll go to the hospitals and check.
This story by Augustina Teria says polluted lakes, rivers affect fertility. Rather sad story, rather sad. And on the back page of the Daily Graphic Weekend special, Swedish Revolution for Black Queens, Bosch Kegrin, who is the new Black Queens head coach, promises to bring back glory era. And these are the big story on the back page of the Daily Graphic Weekend special.
Okay, so I have the Mirror, Ghana's most popular weekend, and there's a picture of Patricia Poku, an audacious socialite. I don't know if you've seen, she's been trending this week as well. Oh, is that what we are calling her? Well, yeah.
The only time I saw her with Osibo.
With Osibo. Oh, that's the only time you've seen her.
Yeah.
Oh, well, she's one of the, big people.
But I like her bold fashion statements.
I love it. I love it. And she's almost 60.
That's unbelievable.
She's almost 60. Like, now I want to aspire to be such a fashionista when I'm 60. Like, bold, audacious, and all of that. So she's on page 10 of the Mirror. Other stories you'll find: Valentine's Day, teddy bear sales decline as hampers wine take over. Other stories you'll find in the Mirror: Vakpo youth plant large-scale we at night with torches.
They plant what?
We. Indian hem at night with torches. That story is on page 3.
That's crazy.
On the back page of the Mirror, they've spotlighted Elizabeth Opoku, who is one of the most decorated hockey players in Ghana. Other stories, actually another paper, The Spectator, your weekend companion, celebrating love on Valentine's Day. That's the big story here with the chief imam pictured. And other stories you'll find: GTA, Cocoa Board, CPC celebrates Chocolate Day with Chief Imam. Intake of gobe can prevent heart diseases. Okay. Okay, I like that.
Some big headline stories.
The back page of The Spectator: in the hot seat with Minister Adams, and a look at Africa's chances at FIFA Club World Cup.
Okay, Kofi Adams himself has come under quite some pressure. Well, we'll see how it goes for him as new sports minister. But I wanted to bring to you headlines on citynewsroom.com. Big headline story here: IMF staff ends Ghana visits credit facility expected in April 2025. We also know that the budget for this new administration would be read on March 11 by the Finance Minister Kesel Atuforsen. Also here, Martin Amidu to Mahama probe Rambo-style raid of Oforiate's residence. Private legal practitioner Adawudu has also been speaking. He says, go to court if you disagree with case withdrawals. Also, Yayine's justification for dropping cases opened door for scrutiny. Alfred Tiayibwa, who is the former Deputy Attorney General. Mahama calls for urgent reforms in archaic, moribund UN Security Council. This is a story from the president's participation in the Munich security, high-level engagements that happened yesterday. Also here, free SHS beneficiaries are 3.5 million and not 5.7 million. Former Education Minister Yao Osei Educhum with that one. Also here, importers abandon Nigeria ports, tend to Ghana and Togo amid rising charges. And KNUST welcomes over 50,000 new students for the 2024-2025 academic year. It was wild because at the point that was just about the number of students in the whole school, right? And now this is just, you know, a year, and that is quite interesting.
The intake for 2025.
Yeah, you wonder if
2026.
we've put in place the necessary measures to absorb all of these graduates post, you know, the completion of their schools.
We'll all become Unemployed Graduates Association.
Yeah, thankfully we don't hear a lot from them, but you know.
Oh, they're there.
Unemployment is still a major thing, right?
Yeah.
Nonetheless, so.
Yeah. All right, it's channel1news.com. The one is the digit one. Some of the stories you'll find on that website. Dumbest presser necessary to set records straight. Former Deputy AG. She was on CNR last night with Umar Sanda. Other stories you'll find. Asantehene pledges to resolve Boko conflict. Mahama calls for African self-reliance and responsible leadership. Ayene's attack on trial judges in high-profile cases unprofessional. That's Dame. And then the website has the full text of Godfrey Yeboah Dame responding to Ayene over withdrawal of high-profile cases. Other stories you'll find is continuation of high-profile cases, an attack on AG's office. Most of the stories I think you've mentioned. Clock sack strike, Mahama to reassign births and deaths registrar. Mahama calls for U.S. support to address security challenges in West Africa. Downstream petroleum sector on the brink of collapse, CSOs warn. KNUST welcomes over 50,000 new students, you've mentioned that. Nigeria angered after military chief denied Canada entry. Afari Military Hospital to be completed by September 2025. That's according to Omane Boama. Pope Francis to be hospitalized for bronchitis treatment and checks. The Vatican says so. And this story is so devastating. 5-month-old baby confiscated from mother, killed in Boko. Mobile money vendor killed by armed robbers in Crowform in the Ashanti region.
Another sad one too as well. You know, I saw the story on CNR last night.
Yeah.
And it was so heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
Right? You know, you see family members, you know, wailing and crying in that manner.
5 months.
You know, I'm even referring to the
Momo vendor.
Yeah. You know, so that's sad. So is the Boku incident involving the 5-month-old baby, and we are hoping that peace will be restored in the area, right? And everybody has got to play a role, right? From government up until residents in the area, you know. Line.com. They have some big headline stories. President Mahama arrives in Addis Ababa for 38 AU Heads of State Summit. It comes with a photograph of the president and his foreign affairs minister, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. Also here, Dr. Rashid Computer. I always get people asking me, is Computer
his real name? Yeah,
it is his real name. And guess where he's been appointed to? He's been appointed to the GIFEC, right? So the Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communications. You know, for somebody who's called Computer, being appointed to an area that has to deal with electronic communications, you know, makes quite some sense. And he was also the deputy, you know, IT lead for the elections for the opposition at the time, NDC, in their bid to win the 2024 elections, which they were hugely successful, if I can say. Number 12, expose court frees Kwesi Nyantechi, former GFA president, and Edward Bauer earlier that week we also got news from the presidency that the GNPC CEO has been reassigned to Goel, and I'm referring to Edward Bauer, former MP for Bongo. And these are some of the big stories this week. I don't know where you'd want us to start from. I saw an interesting story about teddy bears and chocolates.
Yes. Teddy bear sales decline as hampers wine take over. But I thought some of the hampers had teddy bears inside. Oh.
But yeah, because come think about it, teddy bear, no lie, what we can eat.
You want what you can eat.
And I was looking for Ghana girls.
I got a bouquet of flowers.
I saw.
And our very own Tajudeen comes, looks at the bouquet, and I saw the bet 1,000 Ghana. Now, you didn't take the money. One just cano. You slack, you should have taken the money. I was just looking at him like, Tajudeen, seriously?
It doesn't work that way.
Not everybody likes money.
Hey,
and if the person is
please,
bringing...
let's
clarify.
Are you speaking for yourself or are you speaking for Ghana girls?
I'm speaking for girls who appreciate the finer things in life. I'm not saying money is not a fine thing, but I'm saying that if someone has been able to get me such a lovely... No. Listen, Jude, listen to my point. If someone has been able to get me such a lovely bouquet of roses, you think money is a problem?
Yeah, but
no. You think money is a problem? Answer that. You think giving me money is a problem?
To an extent, yes.
If someone has given you beautiful bouquets of flowers, you think giving you money is a problem?
It means other things too, right? It could also mean that maybe the appreciation of your person and the amount of money to be given to you, maybe the pocket is not that deep.
So the pocket, no, because flowers are expensive. Roses are expensive. Those roses
we know the prices
expensive.
Of flowers, right? So that's
expensive.
But my point is
the fact that the person has been able to give you a bouquet means he can do more with the money. Come on, you guys.
To an extent,
you're not seeing the bigger picture.
But I know some of the guys too. I'm a guy myself. They won't do the two. Just a few, But even that one.
What if my Momo cried? As well as the bouquet.
Then they will be happy.
Yeah.
Then you have to share because I'm with you. I am your. But the point is that I speak for Ghanaian
women.
When
they would
say
prefer
that,
money. By the way, our producer say I should speak for myself. But genuinely, I love roses. I love flowers. So
how many bouquet of flowers did you get yesterday?
Oh, yesterday I just got one. Got one lovely bouquet of flowers.
I have a video
white.
I have a video of you leaving the office yesterday. You weren't holding only one. Okay, how many packages did you receive yesterday?
Now you're talking. I got like 3.
Absolutely no words.
It's Valentine's Day. Show love. So they say teddy bear sales have declined as hampers and wine take over. A bit of that story. The sale of teddy bears, once a popular Valentine's Day gift, seems to be declining in Accra. Vendors say many buyers now opt for smaller gifts and hampers to cut back on spending since the stuffed animals were expensive to them. A trader who has been selling teddy bears for years says these days people don't really buy the teddy bears, especially the big sizes. Most people just ask for the price then walk away. She told the Mirror's reporter at the market. At the finest gift shops at Kwabenya, hamper packages that included a mini teddy bear, Toblerone chocolate, a flower, and other items being sold for 550 Ghana cedis were going stale. The attendant, who gave a name as Esther, said sales had been slow and those items had been on display for a while. We're waiting, maybe last minute they'll come and buy. So the men didn't buy the hampers, the women didn't buy it because they think that they deserve those hampers.
I feel like a lot more people appreciate monetary gifts now, right? And you even see it.
Is it because of the economy?
Probably, and it's more convenient, right? So you even see with weddings, right? So you get like a wedding invitation, then they are like monetary gifts
will be appreciated,
encouraged. They'll use some brofubi. And I'm like, Charlie, back in the day, one wine withdraw, they've wrapped the aroma, they've brought it to the wedding.
I think
even
now,
don't take blender, toaster.
Most people would have already bought those things, so you bringing that to just be an additional.
You can go to a wedding at a church of Pentecost or like some other place. You see like 3 withdraws at the gift table and 3 warmers. I'm not even joking, right? And cloth and like all of those things. But now you get a lot of modern couples wanting monetary, and it's just because it's more convenient. And Ghana girls have jumped on that train.
I think, honestly, that now, by the time people have decided to get married, they would have, bits and pieces of
is it the woman will draw? No, there's some. The people that package it and bring it, they know they want to bring it to make the. I'm telling you. I brought me to a wedding in Kumasi to see what they bring woman withdraw.
Pentecost church.
It was happening a bit. You are not looking wide enough. I see those ones. Let me not go there. But the point is that there's a general shift, in even gifting. So people would prefer cash.
monetary gifts.
If it's not cash per se, they'll prefer a shopping voucher.
Do Ghanaians do registries?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
So, you
a
know,
couple, a few. I've seen a few here and there.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe it should catch on. But then,
Yeah,
will somebody be willing to spend that much on that thing that you have registered for? That's also another question.
Yeah, because like it also depends on the preference of the person, right? If you go to register for such Charlie, so yeah.
So a mattress that's costing 7,000, 8K.
And the
you
point
go
is
buy
that
it yourself.
I've got to marry. You can't buy all mattress. You also have to come buy a mattress for you. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
So yeah, registry could be like a thing, or it's a thing for some classes of people, right?
Yeah.
Because if they look at the invitation list and the people coming, they can afford it and more. So it's more convenient. But I think we are still having a lot more people prefer cash vouchers, prefer cash, you know, than blender, toaster, then Charlie. By the time you have finished the wedding, you have like 5 blenders. You don't even know. You don't even know.
You can sell it.
Let me bring
keep
you
an extra and sell.
Let me bring you this story on page 5 of the Daily Graphic Weekend Special. It's something we've been actually talking about for some time. The headline says, polluted lakes, rivers affect fertility.
Wow.
And this story is attributed to Dr. Labi Opare, who is the program manager of the neglected tropical diseases. So lakes and rivers that used to be trusted sources of potable water in the country now pose danger to women's fertility. Scientists have revealed that many rivers and lakes in the country are polluted with eggs of the parasite that causes schistosomiasis, also referred to as bilharzia, posing the risks of infertility among women who use those water bodies. The pollution of these water bodies has come about, the story goes on to say, has come about as a result of open defecation and open urination into them. The disease is caused by a parasitic worm found in freshwater that can live inside people and cause discomfort or symptoms like blood in urine and stool. For some women, it can also lead to other problems which can develop over a long period of time. These include genital bleeding, miscarriage, or barrenness. This is known as female genital schistosomiasis, FGS short. And the story goes on and on and on. So, yeah, beyond the damage Galamsey does to our environment, right? You also saw stories about how certain babies were being born with deformities in some mining areas where Galamsey has been going on for some time. Now we are being told that, you know, just unhygienic, you know, ways of keeping the environment, including polluting water bodies with refuse, open defecation, open urination, is also leading to infertility. And for me, as you know, I'm mentioning this because you are clearly have a lot more interest, you know, into some of these things, and it's serious. It's
sad. I think yesterday a delegation, lands minister, defense, interior, I think they all met Otumfuo, and some pledges and promises were made about how they're going to protect our water bodies, protect our land.
The interior minister, the lands minister.
There was another minister, no?
Yeah, and I think I saw the names came. I did the Ashanti Regional Minister wasn't part.
No,
but there was one, the defense minister.
The defense minister.
So Omane Boama Muntaka Mubarak, who is interior minister, Omane being defense, and the lands minister, who is also MP for Elembele, Amakofi Boa. Yeah, so and they also went to the Afari Hospital.
Yes.
To
the famous Afari Hospital.
I know, 500-bed military hospital. But we are being told it should be ready in 2026.
Yes.
Or 25? No, 26.
2026.
Yes, September 2026.
If my mind serves me right.
I think Omane Boama made that call.
So, you know, Otumfuo pledged to, you know, help out with especially the lands issue to do with Galamsey and all of that. And hopefully when Nana speaks, he will listen.
Nana also said in that meeting that Galamseyers took over some of his concession. You know, and there's got a lot of people talking.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but...
Yeah, you know, according to him, he has a concession.
Yeah.
Which he had marked out for proper mining, right? Somewhere in Ukropong. And before he could say Jack, illegal miners are taking over. So, the problem is a huge one, right?
Oh yeah, and I think it's like he mentioned that it stems from unemployment, and that's a quick way to make money because even the little nuggets that you get, if you go and sell it,
that's a lot of money. That's
a lot of money.
But
so
it also has the health implications far outweigh whatever monetary gains you make from it.
Skin diseases.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Children are being born with
it's
cleft
unbelievable.
lips.
It's unbelievable.
It's sad.
So I wanted to say that beyond, the focus has been on Galamsey, like stop Galamsey, like action, right? But there are also other actions and activities that pollute our water bodies, right? Like open defecation, like open urination, dumping of refuse into water bodies, lakes and all of that. So we need to also pay attention to that, especially now that we don't have a sanitation ministry. To be fair, when they were there, they weren't doing anything. They weren't doing anything to begin with.
Yes.
But now, at least it was symbolic that there was a sanitation ministry. At least you could hold somebody accountable.
But back in the days,
even though they were keeping $1 million.
Is it tankers? Or is it
yes, so the tank council, which would say over the years to be tank.
It's tankers. It's tankers. Go round and ensure that people are keeping their surroundings clean. I think all of this is contributing to the cholera because I can't imagine that in 2025 we're battling cholera in Ghana.
Yeah,
But anyway.
And so many other things, right?
Yeah, and so many
so yeah, I don't know, but you're in best place to tell us how the new minister seems to be faring, right? It's still very early days
Health
yet.
minister, you mean?
The health minister.
So yesterday I met him at the launch of the cholera vaccination, and I think after he took his vaccination, we interviewed him. And I think one of the last questions I asked him was whether it was safe for pregnant women and children below 1. And he said no. And breastfeeding mothers as well. So it's not safe for pregnant women, breastfeeding mothers, children below the ages of 1 to take the cholera vaccination. And then he was saying that he'll liaise with other ministries to ensure that the root cause of the cholera, the insanitary conditions, the water problems are all sorted out. Because this baptism of fire, his words, this baptism of fire is too much because he just entered the ministry, CSM did there.
No, but I don't remember I said it on this show, Sunday Breakfast.
Yeah.
I was making the point that and it was like a big deal for him. Or for his supporters when it was announced, because people felt that like there were so many other people who could have been considered for health minister, right? So you had Dr. Zanetta Ajman Rollins' name coming up, Professor Grace Ayin Sudankwa, her name MP for Esikado Ketan. You should see her profile.
Yeah, I've seen it actually. Very impressive.
So she's a health person through and through.
Yeah.
As against Mita Kando, who's not even a medical practitioner, right? But was ranking member for about 6 years on the health committee in Parliament. He's MP for Joaboso, by the way. And there's also Titus Bayu, who was coming from his experience within having served in leadership roles with the Ghana Medical Association. So when the role was given to Mita Kando, there was a lot of euphoria, like health minister, but some of us were saying that the workload ahead meant that the euphoria should die down quickly. Because see, we hadn't even finished talking about cholera, then CSM, cerebrospinal meningitis. I can't even pronounce it.
But you pronounce it just fine.
So yeah, I'm happy that he has a sense of direction and he understands the enormity of the task. So that's good to start with.
Yeah.
But beyond that, like this story on the Daily Graphic is saying,
the polluted lakes.
Yeah, an interministerial committee should be the environment minister, because she's responsible for the water bodies, land, local government minister, because now we understand sanitation is directly under that ministry. And of course, the health minister, because you are now talking about diseases.
I think the EPA
infertility
as well.
And the environmental, so they would be with the environment minister, because it's an agency under the environment. So, good times.
Definitely.
Not quite. It depends on where you stand.
Well, we started somewhere, so definitely we'll get somewhere.
If you're a family member of the former finance minister, not quite.
What has family member got to do with anything?
No, because I said good times, and I'm like, it depends on where you stand.
Well, gradually we'll get there. We're making inroads with the vaccination and everything. So. Yeah.